Okay.
Do you remember Marilyn Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay,
She
Loretta.
passed on the 28th.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd like
On the 28th.
Toni, and I'll go back to her in a little bit right here. So Loretta, want to tell them where you're from?
I'm from Brineville, Oregon.
Okay, and Marion. You're muted, Marion. Oh,
Here I am.
yeah. Tell them where you're from.
I'm from Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Okay, and Cynthia, you want to introduce yourself again?
I'm Cynthia Mishtal from Athens, Tennessee.
Okay, and Janet.
Janet Stockerbrand, Prospect, Oregon.
And it says Richard McAfee, so I don't think it's Richard.
It's Jane. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, I'm trying to get logged in and I got the sign in, but I'm supposed to put a password with my email and I don't see that on the email that you said. Is there a number code or something I'm supposed to put in?
Logged in, we see it, we hear you.
Oh, well then I'll just get rid of some of the stuff off my way and I'll just sign in and hopefully.
I don't know who you're already in.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can shut that off and I'll get you up here.
So where are you from?
I'm from Nebraska. I'm the East District Director in Nebraska, and I've been at the last few meetings. So,
all right. Well, I just wanted
I have a question. I have a question for you later at the end.
Okay. And I think Linda.
Yeah, Linda Hanberry from Mississippi. I can't find my screen. Here I am.
All right. And did I miss somebody?
I see Bonnie.
Yeah,
Debbie.
She said she's having a little trouble there getting on the internet for some reason. And I'm on the same internet, so you shouldn't have a problem there. Anyway, I'm going to turn the time over to Toni.
You missed Debbie.
Oh, Debbie?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I was a teeny bit late, so I didn't realize you were introducing everybody, but I'm Debbie Johnson from Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm the Tennessee Vice President for Programs, and Mr. Scott Teeples is a member of my FCE club in Montgomery County, Tennessee.
You better believe it.
Thank you.
I see you on Facebook and I get emails, so I appreciate it.
Super.
I do appreciate that. Well, I'm going to introduce you to Toni. Toni's one of our new members. I think she's been a member about a year now, and she's volunteered to do this on mental health, and she's nervous as can be. She did it in our study group last month, and she did a great job, and I think she's going to do a great job today. So I'm going to turn the time over to you, Toni, and if you guys got questions, just ask her as we go along. Toni, the time is yours.
I'm Toni. I'm from Klamath Falls, Oregon, and we'll start I'm doing a presentation on mental health and wellness, and it's just, I call it a series because it leaves it open to go ahead and go more in depth on what I'm going to do today, which is fundamental idea, and the starting with the fundamental idea, and the it goes into the when we later get into the wellness and economy, it's the initial it'll be about wellness and an initiative idea or initiative.
So Toni, why don't you tell them why this is so near and dear to your heart?
This is near and dear to my heart because I suffer from mental health, but I've come through my mental health. I'm coming through my mental health and finding that not just having mental health, but is been always there, not just for me but other people, but finding that mental wellness along with doing your having mental wellness along with being able to have mental wellness work along with your mental health is very important. That knowing how to identify your mental health and through mental wellness, and be able to learn the coping strategies of what you're dealing with, and helps you progress, and it helps not only you but those around you. And not only do you benefit you, it doesn't benefit you, but it benefits everybody. And people, you, that doesn't just help you, but you can help others, and others help themselves. And everybody can work together in the idea.
Great job. So when you get ready to open your share your screen, remember to click those two little buttons on the bottom there.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So whenever you're ready.
Oops.
Okay, I could see your screen for a second. So where'd you go, Toni? She must have closed her Zoom. We'll give her a minute to come back. There she comes back. Toni, I can see, there you,
Sorry, I kicked myself out.
yeah. You're not the first one to do that. So you have to get mad and leave. Right. So go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. Sorry. Oh.
Fine. Remember, I told you everybody, we're all amateurs here. I'll tell you when I see your screen. You may have to double check, click those on the bottom again.
It's not even letting me be able to share anything.
Okay, let me go see it. I may have to make you a host again. Co-host. Give me a second here. Oh yeah, see, it went away. Okay. Now you can try it.
There we go.
There you got it up.
Good job. We can see that.
Thank you. Are we okay? Here we go.
Okay, you got it all up.
So it's mental health and wellness series, basic fundamental idea. What, according to SMASHA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act, and helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life. It can affect you over the course of your life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Your thinking, mood, and behavior could be affected.
I even tried going out, closing my computer down
Can't
and
hear
restarting it.
you.
I have no sound. Okay, shut it.
What is a mental health condition or condition? Mental illnesses are disorders ranging from mild to severe that affect a person's thinking, mood, and or behavior. According to National Institute of Mental Health, nearly 1 in 5 adults live with mental illness. Many factors contribute to mental health conditions, including biological factors such as genes or brain chemistry, life experiences such as trauma or abuse, family history of mental health problems. Some mental health topics include antisocial personality disorder, anxiety disorders, including generalized anxiety, panic disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, phobias, social anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, seasonal affective seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, suicide or suicidal behavior, even self-harm. Can anyone relate to or heard of one or more of the topics? You don't need to identify out loud, or you don't if you don't want to. Respecting your privacy is important, though mental health is important for everyone to seek help and to be able to identify, for everyone to recognize the situation around them, to move forward in a healthy direction. So has anybody heard of or recognized some of these topics before?
This is Jane. Yes, I have. We have a niece who's married to a gentleman who is in the military, and he has to struggle with PTSD. I know one of the things, I mean, he's a great guy and he does lots of great things. I know that what bothers him is when you have fireworks, because he was in, in the military. We also have 10 adopted grandchildren, and so they have been placed with my son and his wife, and a couple of them struggle with mental type issues. So they've done a lot of work with some of that, and they're still struggling, but we keep working on it. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say, and thank you for sharing your story. And this is going to be very interesting to me. So thank you very much for doing this.
Yes. A serious mental illness, or SMI, is a mental illness that interferes with a person's life and ability to function. Despite common misperceptions, having a SMI is not a choice, a weakness, or a character flaw. It is not something that just passes or can be snapped out of with willpower. Early warning signs and symptoms. Experiencing one or more of the following feelings or behaviors can be an early warning sign of a problem: eating or sleeping too much or too little, pulling away from people and usual activities, feeling numb or like nothing matters, feeling helpless or hopeless, feeling unusually confused, forgetful, on edge, angry, upset, worried, or scared, yelling or fighting with family and friends, having persistent thoughts and memories you can't get out of your head. Sometimes it's overthinking. That can be like overthinking, hearing voices or believing things that are not true, thinking of harming yourself or others, an ability to perform daily tasks like taking care of your kids or getting work or school. Do you think someone you know may have a mental health problem? Do you find talking about mental health difficult? Do you know a way or have an idea how to start a healthy mental health conversation? That's a question. Floor is open.
I do not know how to start a conversation.
I think I can use a lot of help with that too.
Tips for living well with a mental health condition. Having a mental health condition can make it a struggle to work, keep up with school, stick to a regular schedule, have healthy relationships, socialize, maintain hygiene, and more. However, with early and consistent treatment, often a combination of medication and psychotherapy, it is possible to manage these conditions, overcome challenges, and lead a meaningful, productive life. Today, there are new tools, evidence-based treatments, and social support systems that help people feel better and pursue their goals. Some of these tips, tools, and strategies include
Okay.
Stick to a treatment plan. Even if you feel better, don't stop going to therapy or taking medication without doctor's guidance. Work with a doctor to safely adjust doses or medication if needed to continue a treatment plan.
Okay, you may have to mute this one.
Keep your primary care physician updated. Primary care physicians are an important part of long-term management, even if you also see a psychiatrist. Learn about the condition. Being educated can help you stick to your treatment plan. Education also helps your loved ones be more supportive and compassionate. Practice good self-care. Control stress with activities such as medication or Tai Chi. Eat healthy and exercise, and get enough sleep. Reach out to family and friends. Maintaining relationships with others is important. In times of crisis or rough spells, reach out to them for support and help. Develop coping skills. Establishing healthy coping skills can help people deal with stress easier. Get enough sleep. Good sleep improves your brain performance, mood, and overall health. Consistently poor sleep is associated with anxiety, depression, and other mental health conditions. Need help? If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. To learn how to get support for mental health. Oh, wait, I didn't update this part. I have several on my Word document. I have several resources, but on this PowerPoint, I don't have all the resources that I have on my Word document. But the ones on here are the 988 Lifeline. You could text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org. You can also call 911. You can learn how to get support for mental health, drug, and alcohol issues at findsupport.gov. To locate treatment facilities or providers, visit findtreatment.gov or call Smash's Lifeline Help at 800-662-HELP or 43357. Veterans can call dial 988+1 or text 838-255. Yes, I have several. It's on my Word document. We have reached a break in the clouds. A break in the clouds means a momentary clearing in the sky or a figurative opportunity that may arise in a difficult situation. Such a nice calming picture I chose this picture because it gives hope, and it leads us into our next part. This is Christine Miserandino. She is an award-winning writer, blogger, speaker, and education advocate. Her writing about lupus and her spoon theory of communicating about chronic illness has been featured in numerous newspapers, magazines, medical newsletters, and television media around the world, as well as on her website, butyoudon'tlooksick.com. The spoon theory is a creative metaphor to explain to healthy family and friends what it's like living with a limited amount of physical and or mental energy, that we each have a day available for tasks, activities, and how it can become limited. Now we get to watch a little video.
Today, we're going to be talking about spoon theory, but first, let's talk about chronic illness. Some people assume that someone with a chronic illness needs around-the-clock care at a medical facility. In reality, people who suffer from chronic illnesses are all around us just trying to live their best lives. According to the Center for Disease Control, around 6 in every 10 adults in the United States suffer from a chronic disease, and 4 in 10 adults suffer from at least 2. Christine Massarandino has multiple chronic diseases and brilliantly introduced spoon theory to the world in her blog, ButYouDon'tLookSick.com, as a way to make the spoony lifestyle tangible to everyone. Spoon theory at its core is a metaphor for living life with a chronic illness, where spoons equal energy and effort. Every task and every decision is based on the number of spoons, or the amount of energy, required to complete it. Not every task is weighted equally. For many, taking a shower, doing hair, getting dressed, and especially a trip up or down the stairs costs so many spoons that by the time they are ready for the day, they've already spent almost half of their spoons. Each illness is different and each person is different. There is no one-size-fits-all spoon equation. A major challenge for spoonies is that they never really know how many spoons they're going to get each day. External factors can tear away your spoons. Didn't sleep well? You wake up with less spoons. Is the weather bad? Take away a few more. Basically, it's a gamble from day to day how many spoons you start out with. Living the spoony life means constantly calculating opportunity costs. Choosing some activities may mean excluding others. It's often impossible to do everything you want to do when you want to do it. Running out of spoons is costly. It results in mental fatigue, where it feels like you're in a fog, can't think clearly, can't make decisions, and find it hard to remember the most basic information. The most disruptive and most common result of running out of spoons is complete and utter physical fatigue. It's not simply being tired. It's being completely debilitated. All of the willpower and motivation in the world can't get someone up those stairs, even if it's to go to bed. This type of empty spoons feeling isn't something that someone can get over quickly. They don't just take a nap or go to bed one night and wake up all better. This exhaustion can last for days, weeks, or even longer. Even worse, this can cause a flare-up in the chronic illness. This means that each day the person wakes up with less spoons, and it costs double the spoons to do the same activities that they were doing before the flare-up. As you can imagine, that makes it twice as difficult to complete regular activities without running out of spoons. Being this exhausted and feeling this helpless takes a mental toll on a person. Remember that mental fatigue? It's not like you can simply read a book or do work from your bed. You can't focus. You can't pay attention. It's hard to process new information. Constantly having to rely on other people for basic things, having to turn down or cancel social plans, and being bored out of your mind because you can't do anything feels pretty terrible. Imagine how frustrating it is to sit there wanting to do something, but knowing that you can't. The unfortunate thing is that being anxious or depressed costs more spoons, which can set someone back even further. By now, you may be asking yourself how you can help the spoonie in your life. Simple. Start by recognizing that it's hard to ask for help. Spoonies may feel like they're a burden or that asking for help means that they're quitting. General statements like, "Call me if you need anything," only go so far. Be specific when offering help. If you're happy to give someone a ride, do their dishes, help with laundry, or cook a meal, say so. It's much easier to ask someone for something that they have already offered. Remind them that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Understand that just because someone seems fine doesn't mean that they are. Trust someone when they say that an activity is too much. Don't pressure a spoonie into spending more spoons than they have. They're the ones that are going to have to pay for it, not you. Educate yourself on their condition so that you better understand how they feel and what they're going through. You can also do this by asking the person. Learning about spoon theory is a great start. At the end of the day, love your spoonie for who they are, spoons and all.
Next is the mental wellness with Global Institute and what is the wellness economy? This is going into the mental wellness initiative. The mental wellness initiative of the Global Wellness Institute aims to understand those pathways that help people stay well and thrive mentally as well as physically. The lens of mental wellness extends from the very inner aspects of individual experience through the influence and condition of what is sometimes called the social mind. For example, the mental condition of the surrounding society and its effect on and or contribution to mental wellness. We believe in empowering and communicating mental well-being for people around the world. Through the exchange of knowledge, we can promote and support lifelong growth, happiness, creativity, inner peace, and compassion and wisdom. What is mental wellness? Mental wellness is an internal resource that helps us think, feel, connect, and function. It is an active process that helps us to build resilience, to grow, and to flourish. Mental wellness is a resource because it is dynamic, renewable, and positive. Mental wellness is a process that we must engage in proactively. That's a key word, that proactively, and is not a static state of being. Mental wellness is not only mental, but has several dimensions. Thinking is a mental dimension, feeling an emotional dimension, connecting a social dimension, functioning a psychological dimension. Five key things to know about mental health. Mental wellness is more than just the absence of mental illness. 2, mental wellness is an active process of moving from languishing to resilience to flourishing. 3, mental wellness helps to shift the perspective away from stigma to shared humanity. 4, mental wellness grows out of a grassroots consumer-driven movement. And 5, mental wellness is multidimensional, holistic, and personal. The complex number of this model, the mental wellness is more than just the absence. The complex relationship between mental illness and mental wellness is best understood by envisioning them sitting on two separate continuums. In this figure, the horizontal axis, the horizontal axis measures mental illness from high to low, while the vertical axis measures mental wellness from languishing to flourishing. About 85% of the world's population does not have a diagnosed mental illness, but these people are not all mentally well or thriving because of pervasive stress, worry, loneliness, and other challenges. On the other hand, those who have diagnosed mental disorder, those who have a diagnosed mental disorder can have moderate or positive mental wellness. For example, having good relationships, feeling happy, or functioning well at a job. Practices that increase our mental wellness are increasingly recognized as protective factors for our mental health, as well as helping reduce the severity and symptoms of mental illness, alongside conventional treatment regimes. So this, in this model, this model shows or helps us to be able to detect early warning signs. It's like how do you say? It helps us as a way that we can monitor and help us and navigate our mental health either by progress or by daily mood. And one of those examples could be like spoon theory. Even though we can't see it, it 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 it's like an invisible monitor or invisible compass. Um, it's a sliding scale that we have internally, that that we have, but it's on paper. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
Mhm. Mental wellness. 2, mental wellness is an active process of moving from languishing to resilience to flourishing. On one level, mental wellness is about prevention, coping with life's adversity and being resilient when we face stress, worry, loneliness, anger, and sadness. On another level, mental wellness moves us toward a deeper, richer, and more meaningful human experience, which is often described as flourishing. 3, mental wellness helps to shift the perspective away from stigma to shared humanity. Mental wellness can help shift our focus toward a more positive, empowering approach, how we can feel, think, connect, and function better. Rather than just avoiding or coping with illness, it emphasizes our capacity to build resilience, to reduce suffering, to find inner peace and joy, and seek meaning, purpose, and connection, a universal longing shared by all people. Mental wellness grows out of a grassroots consumer-driven movement. Evidence shows that improving our mental wellness can even reduce our risk of developing mental illness, but not enough attention is paid globally to mental illness prevention and mental wellness promotion. Consumer practitioners and business have a led charge in seeking self-direction. Seeking self-directed alternative solutions outside of established fields of medicine, psychiatry, and psychology. They are bringing centuries-old natural and holistic mental wellness modalities into the mainstream, pushing science into areas where it has not gone before, to consider the efficacy of ancient practices and emerging solutions. Does everybody understand this model?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's good.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's
Mental wellness is a multidimensional, holistic, and personal. Mental wellness recognizes the integrated and holistic nature of our health and well-being. The state of our mind affects our body and vice versa. Sometimes our circumstances change. We need to adopt new practices or strategies to handle stress, improve resilience, and deal with adversity. In this study, we segment the key strategies for mental wellness into 4 main pathways: activity and creativity, growth and nourishment, rest and rejuvenation, and connection and meaning. Each of these has mind, body, and internal, external dimensions. Together, they represent a menu of options for pursuing mental wellness. There's no set path, and people can choose the strategies and activities that are most important for them. And this model for me, it shows that they go hand in hand. It shows flow and movement. What does it show for you? Anybody else?
I like this chart a lot. There's really good information here.
Yeah, it's like ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
The mental wellness economy, the Global Wellness Institute defines the mental wellness economy as consumer spending on activities, products, and services whose primary aim is to help us along the mental wellness pathways of growth and nourishment and rest and rejuvenation. It encompasses 4 subsectors: self-improvement, brain boosting, neurotic, nutraceutical and botanicals, meditation and mindfulness, senses, spaces, and sleep. Global Wellness Institute estimates that the global mental wellness industry was worth $120.8 billion in 2019. This estimate represents consumer expenditures on the 4 subsectors that we have defined as part of the mental wellness industry. It focuses on proactive wellness focused consumer and private sector driven activities. That is things outside of the psychiatry, psychology, and clinical medical spheres. These figures are broad, global estimates that we aggregated based on a wide range of secondary data sources. Note that the data presented here were extracted from Global Wellness Institute's 2020 report. There is more updated, but I couldn't I couldn't get it. But I do have this. If the market was worth a record of $4.9 trillion in 2019 and shrank by 11% to 4.4 trillion in the pandemic year of 2020, the research indicates that the wellness economy has seen recent economy defying momentum. It grew by 27% since 2020 to reach $5.6 trillion, with 7 of 11 wellness sectors now surpassing their 2019 pre-pandemic values. With consumers, the medical world, and governments now placing a much bigger value on prevention and wellness. The Global Wellness Institute forecasts the wellness economy will grow an impressive 8.6% annual pace through 2027, when the market will reach an $8.5 trillion, nearly double its 2020 size. Quote, open quote, we are surprised by the resiliency of the global wellness economy and how quickly it has bounced back from the pandemic. It has exceeded our own expectation and forecasts, said Catherine Johnson, Global Wellness Institute Senior Research Fellow. There was a close quote there back there. Open quote. If the pandemic disrupted industry momentum in the short term, it has simultaneously created a dynamic shift in the long-term opportunities and trajectory for wellness. Close quote. Catherine Johnson, Global Institute Senior Research Fellow.
You know, Toni, one thing that this kind of points out to me is that during the pandemic, we learned how important it was to get out and do the things that are listed on here to, to make sure that we were going to the doctor, to make sure that we took trips, to make sure that we ate well and lost weight if necessary, that we did some physical activity. And I think that maybe, I don't think there's anything too much good that came out of the pandemic, but I do think it has helped us connect more with other people than it than we did before. I think we're more aware of what isolation can do to people.
Not only to them, to ourselves.
Right.
And if that's what you're getting out of this, then that's my main focus, my main hopes.
Yes.
I think it's taking us a while to bounce back from the isolation and some of those things. It really showed us why we need socialization and the encouragement of others, and some of that stuff did not happen, and it's taking us a while to bounce back from that. But I think it drew out, unfortunately, what we needed to, and fortunately what we needed to do.
How?
Yes, how to do that.
Yes, I agree.
I think a lot of people are sharing their discoveries on how to help themselves too. Because as she says, Sister Teebles, is that, we got really depressed and bored, and so then everybody started going out and looking for things that would uplift them.
Yeah.
We had to reevaluate what was important, I thought.
We did.
On a short note of my own, I will say that through my work here may be a bit out of source date because I found more research on this topic when I was doing some polishing before presentation. Then while I continue to work on my own mental health, I find every day when I'm open to my surroundings, remembering my healthy values and moving in a positive direction continuously, I'm not far behind. Also that the questions I asked during my presentation, most of them are that just being in this presentation and taking in the knowledge helps you know, or helps you to start that positive first step in knowledge and knowledge, and that is one of the first steps in starting that healthy conversation. And that's the close of my little presentation. There is some things I have here and the end of the word. There's this little spooning challenge that you can take if you get the document, that you can do yourself with your little family. It's a little challenge for the spoon theory. And then here's your 8 dimensions of wellness that you can look over, that help you know, like take into account of where each place you can think of, place your little values in, where you put each little item that you have in your life, where, like little, things that you do here. Where do you place something here? Like your job is in your career, but what else do you do that could fit in career? What do you do physically? What do you do socially? What do you do spiritually? To help you navigate in your life the things that you do and what you could be doing a little more of, or what you could, so it's, you have an idea of what you're focusing too much on that you could be working on a little bit.
So Toni, do you have those 2 documents that you could on your computer that you could send to Scott, and maybe he could send them out to the rest of us?
Yeah, well, I sent him the whole thing, and then you can either just print off per page or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
All right. Thank you.
So Toni, we can get this information.
Yes, I gave it to Scott.
Okay,
So it's, or however you need me to do this.
yes. You know, our lives really didn't change much even during the COVID epidemic, simply because we were pretty well set in our ways, and our family is in distant areas, and so we stayed in contact by phone the same as we had before. So our lives really didn't change that much. And some of the things I found through life is you learn to bounce with all the things that life throws at you, and deal with it. I don't know if that helps anyone.
Well,
I hope it does.
some people mentioned about, during the pandemic, and I know that at least Bonnie and I were here together. We even shared the COVID together in the early stages, and when it was really bad COVID, we had it exactly the same time. So I think we got exposed together, and we were both of us were really, really sick for about 8 days. I wasn't dead, but I always wanted to die. Anyway, but that's one of the reasons why we started these Zoom lessons. And I think that we just needed to be able to get out and communicate with other people. And at least Zoom was a safe way to do that. And so it all helped us. I think we all learned some things from that. It was a horrible disease and pandemic, but I think that we learned a lot of things out of it. I thank Toni, and why don't you guys, if you got any questions or anything like that, she did send that to me, and she sent it to me in a Word document, and I think I'll also transfer it to a PDF, and I'll put both of them on the Oregon FCE website right next to the link. When I do that, I'll put it there so you can actually go there and download that, and that is Oregon dash, and there's a dash mark in there, fce.org. And then you need to go find the page. It says Zoom lessons and so forth. And I record those and I put those on there. It'll take me a day or two to get these on here.
Oregon dash what?
FCE.
Is that the small F?
It doesn't matter. It's all lowercase. It's fine. .org. .org. Anyway, so I'll put that on there. And does anybody, I'd like to take a minute and give Rebecca's on here, and she's going to be doing the one next month, and she might give you a little bit of an idea of what it's going to be on. If I want Toni to have an opportunity to finish up first. Any questions or comments for Toni?
Toni's doing a great job. I love her presentation.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Toni. I just went through some things myself, and I saw in your presentation some of the issues that I had that were concerning to me, and now I see that I'm not the only one. So thank you very much for your presentation. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Something everyone needs to know: as you age, sometimes you aren't able to do all the things that you did when you were young, but that doesn't mean you aren't a productive human being. It's just that you can't do everything you did when you were young.
Okay, and Toni, you did have a couple of messages come in there. Debbie said, "Thank you, Toni and Scott, for your presentation. It was much. Thank you so much for sharing." And I think that's her again. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, that's Toni. You answered her back there. And Debbie gave her a little smiley face there. So I'm just trying to read those in case you might have missed it. Because sometimes you get busy in your presentation and then we forget to read the little notes there. So.
And Toni, I know you were a little bit nervous, but this was an absolutely outstanding presentation. And I
Yeah.
learned a lot from, I mean, it gives me some tools to share with people that I know that need help. So thank you very much.
And I thank you too very much, Toni. It's very enlightening to see it in print too.
Mhm. So Scott, you're saying you can find like this PowerPoint and her comments on OregonFCE.org?
Yeah, it'll take me a day or two to get it on there.
Okay, is that also where I can find the stuff from last month? Because we're working on the, I didn't find it when I went to the National FCE and looked up the Oregon lessons, but can I find what we did last week or last month so I can share some of that too?
I have everyone. Now, are you talking about the written part of it from last month
Well,
or
the
the
PowerPoints and,
uh
because she said from North Dakota, she'd send the
I'll
PowerPoint
have
or
to look
something.
and see what she has on there. I'm not sure what she sent me.
Okay,
Okay, but just email me. And do you have my email? Well,
well,
because
it's the same as when you tell us about the
Right.
meetings, right?
Right, you're right.
Okay,
They're there. And
Okay.
if you don't hear back from me, you might try the same email except use outlook.com as a suffix.
okay,
I have a little trouble with my charter email at times.
okay, sometime a friend and I are trying to get our lesson ready for Friday, which was going to be last month's that you did, because we're doing that 3-year program with food with sustainability and, this, try to help the food problem in the world. And so we kind of wanted to focus on that. So it's either going to be that or sharing some of Toni's information on Friday, Toni. So
Wow.
hopefully Scott will
Thanks.
get. No, really. No, we'll be having these lessons with either in our district meeting and or local meetings. So I'm really enjoying these presentations. I had to work real hard to get home by noon, so I was at the last one probably to check in.
We'll move to
So-
Oregon there at 10.
What?
Move to
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Moved
But
to
that's a-
Tennessee. It was only 1 o'clock here.
Yeah.
That probably means you already had lunch in Tennessee and
Well, I was eating right before during the beginning of the meeting. So,
oh,
but Toni, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
I love the spoon analogy. I think I'm going to use
Mhm.
that with our youth sometime.
Thank you.
I think too, with my 18-year-old that's kind of trying to finish high school and decide what to do. And I can see a lot of this in her thing that spoon analogy will really, really help. And even maybe her family to realize that she only has so many spoons. And when she starts to get the anxiety cranked up or she doesn't seem to be able to do what mom is hoping she can accomplish because she just is out of spoons, that maybe they'll realize that, she's at her limit for the day.
Mhm.
So I think we learned a lot. I'm encouraged. I want to have some conversations with her about these things because now she's finally to the point that, well, they didn't want to do diagnoses until she was this age. And now she's admitting that these are things that we could see and knew that were kind of in her background. But she's talking about it as an adult and the things that are helping her and the things that like even the medications, some of the medications were kind of working against her and now she's finding some things that are helping. And those are all nice signs to hear her talk about. So thank you for all of that.
Mhm.
Anything else? Comments? Toni, I appreciate you doing this. And I just want to state to you that I've just seen Toni grow from this experience. I asked her to be a member coming to our FCE meetings, and she's just grown tremendously. And I think putting this presentation together has just helped her a lot. And I just continue to see her growing and growing there. So thank you, Toni. And I'll try to get that stuff on there as soon as I can. I got a couple of really busy days here coming up. And Rebecca's on there, and she's going to be doing next month's. And by the way, before I turn it over to her, I'm always looking for somebody. I have somebody for Rebecca's going to do it in April. I need somebody after that. So if you know of anybody,
I thought I was doing it on bone density.
oh, are you going to do that one? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll do the Zoom here.
Yeah, in May, right?
Perfect, perfect. There we go, May.
Okay,
You made my day. I might,
good.
and then,
Me too.
so I need somebody in June. Do I have a volunteer? Janet, I can't hear you. Anyway, Rebecca, are you on here? You want to talk about what you're going to do next month? I saw you unmute, but I can't hear you. Rebecca? We still can't hear you. We can't see you, can't hear you. It says you're unmuted. Oh, there. Okay, now you're muted again, Rebecca. I don't know if she's on or not. I thought I saw her unmute.
She said, sorry, my microphone is not working.
Okay, you want to,
She's
okay.
doing it on Just Serve.
Oh, I think something like that. But she's already done one on Just Serve. I think she's doing a little different thing. Do you remember, Bonnie, what it is?
Yes, it's on making those hard end of life decisions easier. Right, Rebecca?
I'm looking at her.
Okay, she says, I'm giving my presentation on emergency and end of life decisions.
So Bonnie's going to scribe for you, Rebecca.
She'll have handouts for the class.
And I'll send those out when I send out the invitation at least one time. Depends on if she gives them to me.
Is that working yet?
Yes.
Okay. I thank you for being patient with me. I have loaned my computer to my youth, and my USB docking ports are being abused. And so now when I plug in my microphone, it's not always working. So anyway, I don't know how to replace just a USB dock.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay, so I'm really excited for next month. I think these are pamphlets, not pamphlets, but these are handouts that I'll be focusing on and just exploring different aspects of being prepared for emergency as well as end of life. They're both documents that I personally have used and have found them helpful for me to bring order and organization and preparation to my life. So I would invite you to enjoy it, but also bring a friend, because it's something that we are all going to need to prepare for. And it's not daunting when we do it one little piece at a time and just take it at bite-sized pieces. And these documents help you do that.
Okay, and she's going to practice this next Wednesday.
Yeah.
At our local study group. So
bring friends.
It's a warm up. Okay, is there any other comments or questions? I appreciate you guys coming, and please share these links if you've got friends that would like to come. I mean, and if you notice, I always send in theirs to all FCE members and friends of FCE. And you never know, you might invite somebody that might join. So I'll let you go. If you guys want to chat a little bit, I'm going to stop the recording. And if you guys want to talk about me, that's fine.
Thank you.